Well, hello, hello. Greets and peace, one and all. Namaste. Hey, welcome to my humble abode. Thank you once again for popping in. I super duper appreciate from my heart. Did you know that our hearts have a brain? Isn't that fascinating? Anyways, it's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is today is officially day one of my intended 30-day challenge to shape up mentally, spiritually, and physically as well. Not sure what's been going on, but over the past few weeks I've been snacking on donuts and hash browns and those brownies. Oh my goodness, I went crazy for double chocolate brownies this weekend. And no, it has nothing to do with munchies. It has to do with emotions, and dealing with stress, and wanting to feel hugged and loved and just like distracted from the mundane things in life, you know? And I can definitely attest that sometimes our mental capacities definitely get the better of us and can put us into some awkward downward spirals. So in today's video, as I mentioned, I'm going to jumpstart my workouts. I'm really intending for this to be consistent for the next 30 days for all throughout August. Today's July 31st, 2023. It's a little bit after 10 p.m. and I feel unwinded enough from the workday to actually do this. So, thanks for bearing with me. Today's workout is not going to be too intense. I really don't know where it's going to go, but I'm going to let the energy lead me. And I think that's one of the coolest ways to get started with anything, is to allow our energy to lead us onto a path. I spent my weekend just indulging in escapes, kind of mainly just watching movies and sitcoms and going on adventures. They say if the brain can see it, it can believe it, and it can, interpret that we're actually doing these things. But I'm very adventurous, but you need time and space and company, and right now those things are missing from my existence. So fortunately, has to deal with me sometimes smoking around, sometimes grabbing her, sometimes just bothering her. She tends to enjoy it as well. We keep each other good company and keep each other happy. Right, Chewy Doobies? Right now she's perched under the tripod, just occupying the space. This is mine, and listening to me. Now we're on. I also spent the weekend kind of organize my space. I like how organizing physically helps to organize mentally, and I think that's one of the main reasons why it's really helpful to start the day with organizing our physical surroundings, such as making the bed, washing the dishes, tidying up, and then creating a nice sanctuary to return to after heading out for the day. So, that being said, what I'm trying to do is really just center, get my bearings, and kind of gauge where my energy is and where it wants to go. Now, I won't lie to you, I am listening to some of my favorite music. It's interesting, I've grown accustomed to listening to this Waterfront Crew on my iPod. Okay, yeah, it's an MP3 player. I really didn't have any I anything, so I'm the only I in my existence, and so is Chewy. Anyways, yes, it was a challenging Monday. I can definitely say I had some of the Monday blues, and part of it was already being able to predict what would happen throughout the day, and that tends to happen, don't you think? It happens when we're in a job or doing something or in the same workplace for a period of time. Some people like routine. I'm okay with routine, but it really makes me so bored in my mind. And I like new. I like exploring new, doing new things like that. So very easily I get bored, and when I get bored, my energy just feels like it's trapped like a caged lion or tiger and needs to do something to feel like it's growing. I feel it's really interesting how our system, the system of society that we have, is so geared towards confining our existence and putting us into boxes and such. I'm like, wait a second, on. How do we put the wind into a box? Like, our spirits are wind, and light, and air, and water. And how do you put those things in boxes? Why would we even want to? Why would we want to put ourselves into boxes? Why would we even make ourselves join with computers and such? I personally don't understand that aspect of things. And like, I see why people who may not enjoy the beauty of existence, the beauty of exploring one's minds and potentialities of spirit and such, may want to be like, yeah, I'd rather, upload myself into a virtual program and get lost there. Sure, if you don't like what's going on, that's fine. But for those of us who do enjoy the feel of the sunshine and the sound of the birds and wind rustling through the leaves and bothering little chewies and playing with our kitties and our puppies and just interacting with life, like, I don't know, I think there needs to be space for us, and right now it seems like there's no country for biological folks, or so it seems, based on what's being flowed on social media and stuff. But part of working out is, again, not only physical, a lot of it is mental. And being a person who has to solve other people's problems throughout the day, it's kind of hard to let my energy flow, So when I'm working out, when you're not around, filming and such, what I tend to do is sing along with the sounds, or even mumble out some of the things that people say to me during the day, or things that people expect from me and whatnot. And I'm like, we're not human here, so let's try a little bit to help ourselves. But yeah, I think once we get the physical going, and the energy flowing, and the mental starts to move as well, then room for spirit is created. And one of the things that makes me super sad is when my spirit feels stuck and just like conformed and frozen. And you feel like, it's pretty much how I feel. I need to get out of this space. And sometimes do strange and annoying things. And there are some people who can attest to this, and I'm sorry, people, you know who you are, constantly email or send messages to and links and different things, even though they don't invite it. I'm like, well, I gotta share. I gotta put energy out there and not just hold it all for myself. So, that's what happens. Okay, so as you can see, what we're doing right now is just stretching and twisting the core. And speaking, what's happening is this portion, this, it's loosening up, and when we loosen up this portion, well, here also kind of gets loosened up, and it emerges. Now, wind it down, and just keep going. So, we have twisted up the central belly part, and that being loosened up, feel that the tension is around my chest area. Shoulders. These days I've been riding the scooter to and from work. That's kind of like a little moped, but not quite. It's not very, well, it's not hybrid, it's electric. But the way it looks is like a hybrid between one of those standard scooters and a sit-down one. And although, yes, I'm sitting on my butt for the entire ride, what I've noticed is that our body still moves, and there's still tension that's required to keep control of the bikes and the handles and direction and the wheels, and to brake properly and smoothly without being abrupt about it and being weird and possibly causing accidents and such. So there's that. A lot of mental attention is needed to always be aware of what's happening all around. I need to put a mirror on my handlebar for sure. So yeah, over the last 2 weeks, I've noticed that my upper body, especially the shoulder areas, have felt heavier than usual. So to me, that indicates that their muscles are tight and need to be stretched out. And I have not been working out every day. I ideally like to and should. I have done that in the past, and I've seen the results, and it's just awesome. It's a different feeling to be on top of your game every day. Sometimes I don't even want to be playing the game, so I kind of sabotage myself by adopting unhealthy habits as a way of compensating having to play. I've noticed that. I think once we start to really explore the psychology of the reasons on certain things, the better we can flow in our own everyday lives, right? So I do a lot of reflecting, thinking and reflecting and bouncing things off just to see. Because at heart, I am someone who's older. Oh yeah, I can feel. Can you hear that? I don't hear that. I can hear it. I can hear the crunchiness, as my friend likes to call it, of the joints just loosening up. And wow, it's neat. And you know what's really fantastic to me? How much energy we store in our muscles and our joints and in our bodies. And when we don't work that energy, we become stiff and heavy. And then a lot of us tend to be like, oh, that's just part of the aging process. And I'm so tired of hearing that reason from, like, everyone, basically. You know? Yes, I'm aging as well, but there are people who are decades ahead of me who are in better shape than I am, and who have more stamina and resilience and such than I do at this current time. So for someone to tell me, oh, you know, feeling tired and drawn down, that's just part of life and aging, I think that is a defeatist attitude, I think, because I've seen it myself. Yes, when I'm not being active, I definitely feel less active, and I definitely feel lazy, and my energy feels stagnant and slow and heavy. But once I start moving and start releasing energy from all the pent-up points, then it's like magic. You magically begin to feel lighter, and as you begin to feel lighter, you begin to feel younger. Woohoo! Right? That buoyancy of youth returns. I think a lot of us, we let our minds get in the way of our spirit. And through no fault of our own. I mean, we're not really taught about how to activate and perpetuate our spirits. I feel so good. Enough energy has been released here. Yes, it feels sore. And then you go into the soreness and stretch it out. Oh, yeah. This is totally unscripted. I got to this state of mind and spirit in my body. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put me out there. That's it. In all my glory. And see what happens. So, by the end of August, I hope to have less wobbly underarms. They want to be more firm and slimmer. I hope to have more toned shoulders. Definitely a slim down waist. There are like 6 brownies in here, a bunch of donuts, some hash browns. I ate a lot of watermelon as well. Watermelon really helps to flush you out. Some cucumbers and papaya. Oh, the hamstrings. Oh, the hamstrings feel so good. I don't know how much this is showing up on camera, so this will be my test for angles as well. And hopefully I'll set up the second camera so we can get different angles and you can see my butt working out as well. Yes, hopefully my butt can become more toned, and my legs and everything basically. We'll see for the new school year. I'm not going back to school, but you know, it's another new beginning. Hopefully, everything is up to date. Another neat thing that I've discovered while supplementing with fatty foods is that junk in the trunk is a real thing. Like, when I'm eating clean and drinking my green juices and lemon water and salads and just feeling like hella healthy, there's no junk in this trunk. But very quickly, after, packing on with sugar, basically, sugar and flour. Anyways, after starting those, within days, you can feel, or I can feel anyways, the area around my hips and buttocks, let's get that right here, definitely feels like it's expanding. And even though the workers may tell you, no, you look fine, you're great, we know that our clothes don't lie, right? So you try to slip into that favorite pair of jeans or so, and you have to Google in, well, something's off. It's time to get back to basics. I think one of the coolest things about falling off the wagon is climbing back on and getting your bearings again, right? I think it's huge fun. Now, I'm just going to stop around here. I'll try anyways. I'm trying to keep it entertaining. And I'll put the link to the tunes that I'm listening to in the comment section, so please do check it out. Yo! Back in the day, a gentleman by the name of Scott Simon, who's been featured in Men's Health and other fitness magazines back a few years ago, he developed a system movement called joint strength exercises. It has to do with just the fluidity of movements based around our joints. It's all about the joints too. So, what I'm going to do next, where I've worked myself up to, and again, baby steps. You see how we started out with practically no movement, and just a basic like la, 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 la. So you throw the energy around, right? Throw it around, let it flop around, see where it wants to go. And then I got up to working out the shoulder area and such. Now I'm ready to do some actual formed, like, disciplined movements. So what we're going to start with is some movements from Scott Salmon's system of strengthening our joints. And I really love one of the phrases he includes in his work, which is, if we don't use it, we will lose it. Right? And that comes to movement. And it's so true. The neat thing is, if you take a break from movement, but you have muscle memory built in, you get back to movement, the movement tends to flow by itself without much effort needed. The trick is getting the mind out of the way, so that the spirit and body work together. So, some of the starting movements have to do with loosening up the jaw and neck area. Very gently, kind of aiming with the jaw, which was a concept that took me some time to figure out. And once you figure it out, then it makes sense. So, with the jaw up, moving, with the jaw up the next way. Repeat this motion for 5 to 7. Actually, 7 is a good use. Since I haven't done this in a while, my movements aren't the best. They're not as good, but we'll see in 30 days how this looks compared to that. So I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. Feel the tension, feel it loosening up, feel stress just kind of emanating off. That's wonderful. So we've done this on the side. We're going to do this more. So start with this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. So 7 for each. So we did that. So now we're going to keep it down. That's awesome. Now we will do one more turn this way so you can see what's happening. Hopefully you'll be able to see what's happening and pretty clearly. This one is where we're going to imagine that there's a string connected to the ceiling to the head, and we're kind of just going to work our necks as though, like Quagmire. I don't know why this makes me think of Quagmire from the wrist pipe. No, it's not. It's like Family Guy. Family Guy. Yeah, there we go. So or walk like an Egyptian. Alright, so that pretty much loosens up the head area. From the head we go to the arms. So we're going to rotate for 7 backwards and we'll do 7 forwards. Oh my gosh. There's so much stored in her fingers. Like, whoa. Pockets of air. Reverse direction. I hope some of these pops can be picked up on camera because I for sure knew I had a lot of energy that was like stored up energy just waiting to be released. From the shoulder area. Okay, so that's cool. I'll just quickly show you this one. So this one is intended to work our elbows. And don't worry if you're hearing your joints creaking back and down. That's them loosening up. And the more we loosen up, the more our fluids will flow through, and then that noise will disappear. Because a lot of us do sedentary things all day long, the fluid is just sitting there, right? And eventually it probably just gets stale and crisp. So do that. Next time I'll walk you through how to do it slowly, but today it's just a matter of getting into everything. So now we do our this. Okay, so that's for 7. And there's our fingers, so those of us who type all day long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so that's good. And wow, honestly, I can already feel the difference. And one of the traps I get into is I'm able to bounce back really fast. So when I bounce back really fast, for example, I haven't been healthy for even a month. And I'm like, okay, it's time, because things happen, and you just know it's time to get back into the game. I can pretty much bounce back within a week if I'm disciplined. And once I start, then the momentum builds towards discipline. So I think a lot of it has to do with starting where we are with what we know and with what we have, right? And not trying to live up to somebody else's expectations. That's one thing I used to do when I didn't know about things and I didn't know about myself. Instead of trying to center and figure out, like, what does it mean? I try to please the other person who was instructing, meanwhile not really understanding what I was doing. So that, and it's another example in our own ways. Okay, so very loosely we've worked out the head area, the neck, here, the shoulders, our hands. We did some work on the loose area. Now if you want to take it even further, just go the further you can, but putting our arms out like this adds extra torque, I guess, to the movement, and it stretches us even further and better. It helps to realign our skeleton and our joints. So we've done that. There is an interesting looking movement. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not, but it's to work the pelvis area or the pelvic bone. And it's about sticking your butt out and then curling that bone under. And that's something I want to figure out too. Like, what do I do? I'm going to curl my bone under. But, once you figure out the movements and how your body flows, and that begins to make sense as well. So since we're coming with 1:35 based on what I'm listening to, it's almost finished. And I honestly can't believe 35 minutes have already passed. So, in 5 minutes we'll wrap this up. And I will continue on with some more. I think I'm motivated enough to do a set or two on the Pilates machine just to stretch out my hamstrings. I've been riding the scooter in a certain position like this. Everything is, all the energy is kind of being forced in a certain form, and I like when everything just flows formlessly. So, yes, definitely. Work the glutes area. I'm going to do some squats and work out the hips and knees and ankles. The same set of like joint unwinding exercises that apply to the arms also apply to the legs. And I'll show you that in tomorrow's video. So, since the song is ended, I think this will be my cue to wrap this up. And I hope you got something from this, even as small as it could have been, just a little nugget. Hopefully you got something that can help you maybe be inspired to join in and assist on this 30-day challenge, see where it goes. So, until tomorrow, stay well, stay great. Peace out for now.